Hey, I'm Teryn and welcome back to my YouTube channel if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the costume design of Lovecraft Country's 6th episode, which is titled Meet Me in Daegu. To do some background on this episode if you're not familiar, they're pretty much in the midst of the Korean War, which took place from 1950 to 1953. This episode is based in Daegu, South Korea. During this war, South Korea was backed by the United Nations, primarily through the support of the United States, and North Korea was backed by the Soviet Union and China. This is also an interesting time because their fashion is becoming more influenced by Western influences such as the United States and also of Japan. The episode opens up with Gia in the movies all by herself. She's watching this movie that has Judy Garland as the star. She's wearing a nautical inspired outfit, so it's navy blue, a dress or either a two-piece top and skirt set, and it has this white kind of outlined across the edges of the outfit, and it has a white tie, and Gia has like a short little bob, white shoes, and red lips, kind of similar to the red lips that we see Letty wear. Fall 1949, we see Gia and her mother Soon-hee wearing hanboks. At first I was kind of confused as to whether Gia is actually wearing a hanbok because hers has pants at the bottom, and I don't know if that was just like a little bit of the Western influence as well. And we see her mother wearing one, and hers is more traditional. To kind of back up, according to Wikipedia, a hanbok is a traditional Korean dress for semi-formal or formal attire during traditional occasions such as festivals, celebrations, and ceremonies. It is characterized by vibrant colors and simple lines without pockets. Gia's is white on top and gray at the bottom, and again, I mentioned it has like pants, and the pants are fitted at the ankles. Her mother's has like a light blue and yellow pattern on the top. On the bottom of it is dark blue and purple. Here we kind of see the differences in Gia's and Soon-hee's style of dress. Gia's is a little bit more casual, while Soon-hee is a little bit more formal, even though they're both making kimchi. Next we see Gia. She's a nursing student. She's wearing this blue shirt underneath this white blue dress. Almost kind of looks like an apron in a way, and also they're all wearing white hats and they have on black shoes with white socks. Next we see all the nursing students speed dating with the engineering students or engineers. Gia is not having the best luck here. She's still in her nursing uniform, and she meets this guy that she has a love for American movies in common with him. He's wearing a red and cream tie over a white button up and down shirt covered with a red jacket. In addition to me thinking that red is associated with magic in the previous episodes, in this case red is associated with communism and socialism. Then we see Gia at a bar or some kind of restaurant. This is one of my favorite outfits of the season. Gia is wearing this dress, and at the top it's black with some kind of like formal silk printed. Just underneath the bust, that's when it starts this contrast of this red skirt, but it's all one dress I believe, and it's really nice, and it just goes just underneath the bust and starts in this kind of fluttered. It looks like it might be on a bias cut. Done really nice, very fine fabrics. I also feel like this outfit that Gia is wearing at the bar is a lot more sultrier than we've seen her, even though it's barely into the episode. I feel like it's kind of because her mother's goal for her is to bring men back home, and she's wearing yellow shoes. This whole outfit is very different from what we've seen, and it's also different from the traditional attire Gia was wearing before. And I feel like this dress kind of combines both Asian elements as well as Western elements into one outfit. At the beginning we saw that her outfit was very influenced by Western attire. Then we flash forward to summer of 1950. Gia's at the movies again. This time she's wearing her red lips, she's wearing a white and brown hat, and she has on this dress that is striped with brown and black. In previous episodes I mentioned how brown being worn by people is either to not draw too much attention to that character, and I wonder, since this country is in a state of turmoil, maybe that was a thing too, especially being at the movies. Watching American movies might have been an issue. Next we see Gia back at home with her mom. She's wearing this white dress with a cropped blue jacket over it, and her mother is wearing a pink and cream hanbok. At this point we don't see the mother outside of the home at all, so it's really interesting that she's wearing this like traditional attire, but I'm not sure if it would kind of be similar to, I don't want to say like a nightgown or like a house coat. And I also wanted to point out that the mother's hanbok is a little less formal and heavy. Maybe it's because it's the summer and a bit warmer, but previously there were the darker colors and the fabrics were a little bit more structured and heavy, and this one seems a little bit more free and flowy, and it's the warmer color palette. She and her friend Youngja are walking back from, I guess they just finished up class at nursing school. Gia is wearing this pink kind of furry jacket over her nursing outfit, and her friend is wearing this, I can't tell exactly what the color is, but it's a cream jacket, and her friend's hair is wrapped with a scarf. It's cream with some floral looking prints on it. Then we see Gia has her next victim. I believe her mother is wearing the same pink and cream hanbok as before, but now it's covered with this shawl that's white with red embroidery. I believe those stitches are red. We see Gia wearing a horizontally striped robe. I can't exactly tell what the colors are because the mood and setting for a lot of these scenes is pretty dark. Despite like the mood and setting of this show, like, I feel like the robe is brown and blue striped. We are introduced to Tick as an active duty soldier, which we know from previous episodes that he's the veteran, but he hasn't been back to Chicago since he came back to the United States after the war. Gia is in the same fuzzy pink jacket. It's like a brushed flannel type thing. That's not the fabric I'm looking for, but it's a really warm fabric. Her friend Youngja is in a sleek cream jacket, and this is the scene where two of the nursing students are murdered, and I wanted to point out that the two nursing students that are shot are wearing burgundy and blue jackets. I do believe it was a conscious decision to have the nurses that were killed by American soldiers wear red, white, and blue. Next, we flash forward to the fall of 1950. We see the movie theater that Gia used to frequent has red writing on it that says "Red Own Communist Sympathizer." We see Tick and Gia kind of meet again. Tick is brought to the hospital. He's injured. His glasses are broken. He's trying to read a book, but he can't read them. He's wearing a white tank with green pants. We see Gia and her mother back at home. Her mother's wearing the same pink and cream hanbok. And I feel like this kind of shows that she's been wearing the same hanbok a lot in this episode, and it might, to me, it shows that they don't have that much money, which we know based on their conversation at the beginning of the episode. And we see that Gia has a pretty extensive wardrobe, or at least it's full of nice fabrics and everything. And I wonder if that's because she has to appeal to men and get them to come back home with her. So maybe they put more of their money towards her wardrobe, and it's also maybe because she's a nurse and now she's making money for herself. Gia is wearing her nursing uniform with a blue sweater over it. Despite the outfits that she wears when she's trying to appeal towards men in her nursing outfit, I think Gia really does like to wear blue. I think that's like a staple color for her. And I know a lot of times blue is associated with sadness, and in the beginning we see Gia looking very, very sad while watching the movie, and we know that she is supernatural. She's a Camille or a succubus, and so she can't just be herself. Maybe her color choices represent that sadness that she has within. Because we also see that she doesn't really have a relationship with her mother. Next we see Tick is a little bit more healed. He's wearing a white t-shirt and green pants, and again with his dog tags. I don't think he had on the dog tags before though. In the courtyard we see Gia and Tick interacting more, as well as Sung, who is Tick's friend, who is also in the army. Gia is wearing her nurse's uniform, of course, but she's wearing this baby pink cardigan over it. And then we see Tick wearing the same white t-shirt and green pants, but he's wearing this long corduroy looking blue jacket. Sung is in all green, and I want to point out there's a red ball that they're playing with and it's being passed through them all. So I don't know if this is supposed to represents the political climate or magic or both. Gia goes to meet Tick at the camp for a date, I suppose. Sung leads her through, explaining that she has to pretend to be a comfort woman because he doesn't want them to think she's a communist spy, and that's the only way outsiders can get, or at least women can get onto base at this point. Let's get into how Tick planned this whole type of 1950s Netflix and chill in the midst of a war. Like how? And then we see that his Uncle George, dear old Uncle George, had a part to play in it. Gia is wearing this brilliant blue jacket with a fur cream collar. Tick is wearing a formal army uniform that's typically worn for special occasions. hence the date. He hands Gia a pink flower. I don't know if that's just like what he could get, but I don't know if it's just because he noticed that Gia wore that pink sweater before. Here we see that fashion is having heavy outside influence. We see Gia wearing this really pretty dress. Its base color is blue, like a dark blue, and it has these floral prints, not really like super realistic flowers, but more hand-drawn, I wouldn't say like cartoon, but it's like little petals, like little flowers that you would draw as a kid. Gia originally sought out Tick to kill him. She tells Tick to leave before they have sex, and Gia's mom pops into the room with a handbook, but this time again it's a dark color. This time it's like a red dress, and then the kind of top part of it is blue. Gia pops up at the base again, this time still wearing her fancy blue jacket with a cream fur collar. She and Tick have a heart-to-heart, I guess, and they have yet another movie night in the midst of a war. Impressive. The color of the jacket is baby blue. After their little date, we see Gia going back home. Well, we see it back home. She's wearing her nursing outfit, and then her mom is wearing a lavender colored handbook. I think that's the color of it. Again, it's kind of hard to tell. Then we flash forward to winter of 1950. Gia is wearing the same blue jacket, clearly a favorite of hers. Clearly sustainable. Tick is in an all green outfit. Gia's in a gray or light blue robe, and it has these little white and red birds decorating it, and the robe has a red border on the bottom. They have sets, but Gia's Kimiho-ness is about to come out, and she wraps herself in a red satin sheet or a red silk sheet. Next, we see Gia's mother return home wearing a brown fur coat, and underneath is a black handbook, and the top of the handbook is patterned with cream, brown, and gold colors. Gia and her mother go to meet with the shaman. Gia's wearing this long cream dress that has some, looks like watercolor almost, but it's these faint hints of like pink and blue at the top of the dress and also at the bottom. And there's like this long tie going down the front of it. And she's also wearing her blue jacket with the fur collar. Her Oma is in the same brown fur jacket that we saw before, and she's wearing a long blue dress. And the shaman is wearing a top hat with a white feather. And she's also wearing a white dress with a cream fur jacket that's kind of short. It's a short jacket. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share for more content. Thank you.